So CSV is a common separated values, a simple file format used to store tabular data like spreadsheet, Excel. See, look at the CSV file. You need to create a file either in Notepad or any other text editor. Name, comma, age, comma, marks. So you have 3 names and 3 age and 3 marks, means details of some 3 students. Each line in a row, all the values are separated by commas. So why do we need CSV in Python? To store the data and to exchange the data between applications, to read and write spreadsheet data and process data sets. So we have a built-in CSV module. So how do you read a CSV file? You need to create the file first. So you can create it manually. Open the Notepad, the best text editor for you, and type the following: data separated by comma, and click the file and save as. Enter the file name as students.csv. You need to choose all files if you are using Notepad instead of text documents, and save it in the same folder as your Python program. This is important. You need to save this file in the same folder where your Python programs are saved. How to check where our Python programs are saved? Open your IDLE, type the code import os, print os.getCwd, current working directory, you get the path. So this is the area where your Python programs are saved. So you try to save that student.csv in the same location. So look at the first program, import CSV with open. You need to specify name of the file, comma, R for read mode as file. Look at that, reader is equal to csv.reader file. For row in reader, print row. You get the data. Look at the data, name, age, marks separated by comma, placed within brackets. So each row is turned as a list, and the for loop is used to print each row. I don't want the header to be displayed, so use this notations. Look at the notation. With open students.csv, R reader is equal to csv.reader file. Next reader, this next reader, look at the comment, skips the first row, that is the header. Header will be skipped and the remaining data will be printed. If you want to access individual values, I don't want the data to be displayed on screen row wise. If you want individual values to display on screen, then expand your for loop. For row in reader, print name, that is row of 0, first row, row 1, second, row 2, third. As there is a next reader, means you are skipping the header, only the data will be displayed on screen. Finished. So look at the output, name, age, marks, row 0, row 1 and row 2. So if you want to write the data to CSV file, means W mode, write mode, read, write, these are the modes. In general you use it in files concepts in C language and Python. So in the previous case, what we did, we already created a CSV file and the data is already typed and it is saved Then we wrote some programs to read the data. But here what happens is you are going to write the code to the CSV file. So with open employees.csv, W is write mode. Look at that writer. In the previous case it is reader, now it is writer. Write row, name salary, other one John and Emma, and so on. So this creates a file named employees.csv which contains the data. So you have to go to Notepad and open this file and check whether the data is there or not after running this program. So writer creates a writer object, and writer.writeRow writes one row at a time, writing multiple rows. Look at the data. Can you see that square brackets? Identify that. Is it a list of lists? Look at that writer dot write rows within brackets data. It writes all the rows from the list. So using a DICT reader, reader is equal to csv.dict reader file. For row in reader, print row name and row marks. So why do we use a DICT reader? Instead of remembering column positions, you can use the column names. So row name, row age, row marks, and so on. So what are the functions we used in this session? Reader, writer, DICT reader, write row and write rows. So the key points to remember: so we'll just get back to the area where we create students.csv. I already told you how to create it using Notepad. There are different ways to create a students.csv file. So you can create it using Microsoft Excel. Open Excel, enter the data, save as, and select a file type as CSV and give the file name students.csv. So you can even create it using Python, using writer and write row, which we already discussed. You need to save the name as students.csv. So what are the several ways to find where your Python files are stored depending on how you are running Python? The first method is already discussed, and method 2 to find the location of the Python script. Look at that, import OS, print os.path, ABS path, absolute path, underscore file underscore. Look at the note, it doesn't work in some environments like Python, Interactive Shell, or Jupyter Notebook. So if you are using Visual Studio, open the Explorer panel on the left, right click your Python file and go to File Explorer. If you are using IDLE, click File and Open, or you can save as. If you know the file name and you want to search for the file, In Windows, you can easily go for File Explorer and search for it. In Mac OS, use Finder search. If you are using a Linux, you can use your file manager or run.